All right, what's up, YouTube? Chuck Roscoe here. Welcome to the first episode, or recording, if you will, of Roscoe's Ramblings. I'm just a guy from Reno, Nevada, who feels like he has a lot to say about a lot of different topics. So here I am talking about it, or talking about them. Either way, I don't really have a structure to what I want to do here, so it's just going to sound like a lot of nonsense most of the way through it. I've never practiced anything like this before, so if I get some positive response, maybe I'll keep doing it. Who knows if you'll find me in the deepest, darkest corner of the YouTube verse. So, first thing, huge sports junkie, as you can see, rocking the Sonics logo, and got my Seahawks as well. Die hard, any Seattle team, if you will. Bitter at the NBA as we talk about NBA All-Star tonight, possibly. Team Giannis versus Team LeBron. Unfortunately, I still follow because I love the sport, but, David Stern can eat a big one, if you catch my drift. We're in the off-season of the NFL, a.k.a. the most boring part of the year until we get to the draft. Baseball is looking like they might have a lockout. That could be good or bad depending on which one of my friends you talk to. I'm sure you have people in your group that feel the same. College basketball is ramping up. Kentucky just whomped on Tennessee last night, and our boys, the Wolfpack from UNR, got it done and hung it on Wyoming for a revenge game. Also, massive fan of beer here as I sit and sip my Almanac Raspberry Sour Nova. Highly recommend it. Almanac in general, based out of San Francisco. Wrong. San Jose. Sorry. As you will find out if you continue to watch this video, there won't be any edits and no cuts, no anything of that nature. That's why it's Roscoe's Ramblings. I'm not exactly an editor. I don't have any knowledge of any of that fancy stuff. As this becomes more prevalent in my life, maybe I'll learn that. If not, then you might just have to listen for 7.5, 10 minutes as I talk about random stuff. Although, the best part about YouTube is being able to answer, right? The comments down below, you can go ahead and tell me you agree or disagree with any points I might or might not bring up along the length of this video. But what I really wanted to talk about was the NFL season. Yeah, let's get back to that. So, Seattle went 10-6. Obviously, I'm a homer as I wear the hat. It's not one of those I wear it for style things. I only bleed the teams that I bleed for a reason. I feel like that should be a rule across the sports universe. It's not. It's a little frustrating when people question your fandom or, they kind of say, you can't be a fan of such and such team because you choose to wear their hat. That one's on you. But anyway, so we got, 2 months to the draft. Arizona, number one. So, let's think. Cliff Kingsbury, brand new, right out of Texas Tech. Who the heck knows why he got the job in the first place? That's what all the analysts are saying. The young gun that knows Sean McVay. Ooh, that was the hot button topic, for the first couple of weeks that it was around. Anyway, we're in the void of people saying that they're going to do things, and they're really not. Smoke and mirrors for the next 2 months, which could be, depending on how you look at it, the best 2 months of the offseason. Seattle has, I believe, the 20th or the 21st pick with desperate needs for obviously thickening up that offensive line or I think we need a big number one wide receiver. Don't get me wrong. I love you, Doug B. Shout out to you if for any reason you could find my channel. But we need a number one wide receiver, and we need to pay Frank Clark, okay? Seattle, pay Frank Clark. Do that yesterday. Give Russell Wilson some money, too, all right? I love Earl Thomas. Oh, welcome into the shop, Pee-wee. Huh? Yes, he might be famous as well. I'm not quite sure. That's one of my two dogs. Archer's over there laying on the ground, not caring about much. So, back to the Seahawks. Pete Carroll signed an extension. Wonderful. Front office is taken care of. Schneider's going to be there as well. We have a lot to build on. We had the number one running game in the association, actually the league. Sorry, getting my sports confused. But wasn't enough. Dallas gave us the boot in the first round in the wild card. Not pleasant. Those teams that you just don't like for any particular reason? I feel like most people have one for the Cowboys, mostly because there is no gray area with them, right? Black or white, love or hate. I fall on the hate side. What are you going to do? So, going into this draft, we don't have a second or a third round pick for that matter. Not exactly the equity you want to be able to move up and down as you so choose. That's why I believe the Seahawks are going to trade back from the first round down into the second round, possibly trade again further down into the second round to pick up as many threes, maybe a four. We're amazing in the fifth round. Guys like Richard Sherman, Cam Chancellor have come out in the fifth round, so not to say there's not depth there as well. So you would like to think that they are keeping an eye on edge prospects, with Frank Clark being, he's going to command a large salary. There's no two ways around it. Like I was saying earlier in the video, we should pay the man. He's worth it. He's not necessarily a top 5 pass rusher, but can't argue him out of the top 10, I don't believe. And that's obviously a big deal. Look at what happened in Oakland once Gruden shipped out Mack and Amari Cooper and Bruce Irvin. And all those fun names that, actually were worth something in the NFL until the Oakland Raiders got their hands on them. Speaking of which, another point of emphasis, not a huge Raiders fan. That's okay as well. When I was growing up, AFC West rivals, I never let go of grudges in the sports world, if you couldn't tell by my shirt already. Screw you, David Stern. But here I am, just rambling. If you want to comment on the Seahawks or any of the teams you might love and what you might need to do in the draft or moves you want to make over the next 2 months, I am all ears. The more ideas I can get to talk about, the more responses I can put out there. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not exactly good at this just yet. Or maybe I am. I don't know. You tell me. That's what I'm looking for. User participation. How about that? All right. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about basketball. Why not? Since I go ahead and thrown out the shade already. Giannis, beast, right? Can't argue that. Good Lord, one of the better players of our generation so far. Even though he really hasn't done much to prove himself, other than his athletic freak showness. But don't get me started on James Harden. Okay, I got a lot of distaste for a man who doesn't seem to pass the ball or need the ball passed to him to score, I guess, dribble up the court and ISO. I was happy when Kobe retired. I thought we were getting away from that kind of ball, especially with the movement that the Golden State Warriors provide. But then you got this stiff of a guy who goes out there and pretends that he can do anything whenever he wants. I don't think that to be the case. He's lazy on defense as well. Not exactly the recipe for a championship. I like the Houston Rockets in general. Throwback to Akeem Olajuwon, Robert Horry, Clyde Drexler, Charles Barkley, those teams. Even Steve Francis. Sure, why not? But the current day iteration is I'm not a fan of. Nor should I think the people in Houston should be, because James Harden is never, quote me on this, never going to get that city a championship if he plays the way he keeps playing. Yeah, the roster isn't at full health. I mean, what are they going to do, right? Okay, fair argument. However, you can only gather team chemistry, if you build it. Passing the ball, assists, running stylized plays that your coach is drawing up. Although, if it's still D'Antoni in Houston, he's not exactly a hands-on guy. He doesn't mind the run and gun of, college ball, shell defenses, and fast offenses. Once again, not my brand of basketball. Then again, I don't watch a whole lot. But I do know what I do and don't like. You can go ahead and defend your boy down in the comments if you so choose. Can't say I'll be interested in those ones, but I would like to hear anybody's take on them. Goodness gracious. Oh, baseball lockout. Is it going to happen? Probably. I saw that Mike Moustakas finally got signed today, but Bryce Harper and Manny Machado remain unsigned. Those are big deals. What is it, Archer? Okay. Can't ignore the dogs, right? Especially if this is going to be a long video. At some point, they're going to need attention. So, we're looking at potential lockout from the MLB. A really strange developing NBA season, being that there's no pulse on it. The Warriors are in and out. The Lakers might not make the playoffs with LeBron at the helm. The East is amazing. It's up East. Get at it. And finally nice to see after a decade of cellar dwellers coming out and trying to make the playoffs one game over 500. Hockey. Don't know much about hockey, but hey, Seattle's getting a team in 21-22, right? That means something. That means your boy right here's got to get into it because I can't not support my Seattle teams. It's just something I do. Yeah. Let's talk more about football and beer. Cheers. For all you beer snobs that might find my channel, you found a good guy to talk about alcohol in general, I'd like to say, more specifically beer. Once again, this is a raspberry sour from Almanac. Highly recommend the brewery as a whole as well as this. But I drink lights, darks, wheats, wee heavies, IPAs, just basically everything that, has flavor. Not your run-of-the-mill lagers, or I'm not a huge fan of Pilsners either. Feel like they all have a baseline flavor. Not much you can do with it. But that is definitely a large aspect of my life is beer drinking, not so much cultivating it myself. Tried to make it a couple of times, never came out great, so might as well just enjoy the goodness that other people make me, right? Once again, this isn't going to be a beer review channel, but who knows? As I go along, I might keep drinking beer, and I might keep reviewing them. Also, I believe I'm heavily into the fitness realm of YouTube, but I won't get into that because you got plenty of people you can listen to for that. There's controversies and drama over there galore. I'm not trying to throw my hat into that mess. I'm just, a simple guy who likes to go to the gym and go to work and love his dogs. But as we ramble along here, I would like to get back to the NFL. Why? Because it's my favorite and I could talk about it all day. That's pretty much the reason why this channel was an idea in the first place. I like the idea of a cohesive video, but that's not what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you my thoughts as they come along in the realest, rawest form I can think of. After all, we all have seen, plenty of well-edited videos that you still don't agree with. So maybe some real talk as it comes out of my mouth is something that you like to hear. If not, and you don't want to make it 14 minutes into me talking about not anything, I don't blame you. You can let me know in the comments if you love and or hate this. Maybe give me some ideas to talk about so you don't hate what I'm talking about. Give me a team. Give me a painful sports memory. I'm really good with those. As I have many. As a Seattle fan can relate. Anyway, so the NFL, right? We're looking at the top draft prospects in the league are pretty much all defensive linemen, whether it be edges or interiors, which hopefully improves the play of the league from top to bottom because we all know how valuable a good pass rusher is. Now, out of the 7 that are ranked in the top 10, maybe 1 or 2 will actually be a hit. Who knows? That we got to give 3 years, 4 years to. For example, they gave our 2012 draft class, which included Bobby Wagner and Russell Wilson. Oh yeah, C+. No, just 2 perennial Pro Bowlers, possible Hall of Famers, Super Bowl winners. No big deal. No big deal. Also got flack for drafting Bruce Irvin in the first round. I believe the year following. Oh, it was a reach. He's not that great. Yeah, he had a 10-plus sack season for 3 out of the 4 years he was in Seattle. So Faith in my boy Pete, faith in my boy Schneider. Once again, I'm always, if we're talking about the NFL, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. It's always going to circle back to the Seahawks. Just what it's going to be. Unless you guys give me a topic I can actually stay on. But that's not the whole point of Roscoe's Ramblings. Anyway, not much offensive love. Quarterbacks, Dwayne Haskins, good, great thrower from his stats, but who knows what he's going to bring to the NFL. They're saying he's going to go to the Giants, and I think that fit makes a lot of sense because Lord knows Eli ain't got it no more. Please, oh please don't let Jalen Ramsey, goodness gracious, Kyler Murray go first overall. I think that's a horrible mistake by the Arizona franchise. Yes, Josh Rosen struggled in his rookie year, but I think it's way too fast to give up on a guy who could potentially be your all-pro one day. If you look at the names of quarterbacks of guys who haven't been successful their first year, it's staggering. Troy Aikman, John Elway, Peyton Manning, even the likes of like Drew Brees didn't have great rookie years, right? I mean, it's 1 year. It's the what have you done for me lately league, and unfortunately, 1 year is all you get. Ask their former coach Steve Wilkes. He didn't even get a chance to, install any, whether it be the roster or his offense or defense or any of that. They just ran him out of town because they thought that he wasn't good enough, even though they didn't give him much to work with. Well, Nick Bosa, right? That's the move. That's what everybody's saying. I didn't like when he dropped out of college to prepare for the draft. 10 months? 8-10 months before the draft. I get it. You want your health. You're young. You only got one body. If you're seeing breakdowns, it could lead to future injuries. Just look at Carson Wentz in Philadelphia. Amazing talent, but can't stay healthy. 4 injuries, 4 years. That's why I'm on the full side of things on that debate. I really do think that they should try to move Wentz, save Foles, see how much equity they can get, and move forward. Foles has the magic in Philly. Is he Joe Montana? Probably not. But he's better than Kirk Cousins. He is better than Kirk Cousins. He sure is. So, let's see. Defensive back, something Seattle has been known for Richard Sherman. Shout out to my boy Marcus Trufant. His brother Desmond Trufant plays for the Falcons as of the current moment. But we're gonna let ET go. End of an era. Sad the way it ended with the bird on the sideline getting carted off. Makes me sad. But it is what it is. He was frustrated, and it showed to the national audience. Where are we at here? I don't know. Do you guys think Kyler Murray is going to go number 1 overall? Please tell me he won't. Please. I hope that's one thing we can agree upon. What are the Raiders going to do with all of this equity? 3 first-round draft picks, 1 in the top 5, and 2 on the back end. Are they going to package something together, maybe for a player? Are they going to trade down, pick up even more draft picks? Does Gruden really know what he's doing? He's got 9 years left and $90 million to figure it out, so let's hope not, huh? Raider hater. No. I feel it's important to have convictions and stand by them. You may love the Raiders. I hope you do. And if you do, you can not like me for hating on them. That's perfectly allowed in this beautiful nation of America. In fact, the only reason why I'm sitting here talking in front of this microphone for as long as I am is because I have the freedom to do so. So, bring the hate, bring the love, bring whatever you want to bring, man. I'm all about it. I want to hear the positives. I want to hear the negatives. I want to know all of it. I don't have some fancy catchphrase to exit this video. I have a lot more I could still talk about, but this video is already 20 minutes and you're not going to pay attention to it anyway. So, if you did like what you saw, go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know. Bring me a topic. Let's get to rambling.